Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Yeah, here we are. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry in advance because, you know, the stream is like 5 to 10 seconds away. So when you're writing something, I will need a while to see it on screen. But anyway, thanks also in advance for Avalazarius for being the moderator of tonight. And yeah, well, for me, who I am not a native speaker. And before I start to greet everyone, let's put on some music. Okay. Hopefully you can see something in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. Valle, tell me if it is. Well, anyway, welcome, Yuli. Sorry, Shaik, that you can't be here, but thanks for stopping by. Hey, Buki, Flox, Rüdiger, Nikolai. Long time no see. Rose, welcome, Rose. Yesenia, Kiki, Zaki, Franco. Let me see. Lederlappen. I like that. The Swedish Batman. Before I get into your messages and questions, again, just let me greet everyone. Hey, A. Cody, Gloria, Christopher, Melissa, Christina, LMJ, Rüdiger Davis. Sorry, Rüdiger, I already mentioned you. Lukas, Brola, Meister, Krunoslav, hey, good to see you. Dr. Mit den Rasen, nice one, again. Hey, Vladimir, Jakub, Gary, Tim, Arkanizer, Jack, Treba, Doctor's Diaries, and everyone who's popping in right now. Let me quickly go through the questions, and in case music is perfect. Valle says music is perfect. 70 subscribers. Yeah, we're on Twitch. Well, I don't have that much followers on Twitch, and since someone already mentioned Twitch before, yes, I'm running Twitch, but just for like 10 days now, and I'm running Twitch in German, because as you might know, I'm from Germany. We have like 7 p.m. here in Germany, so don't mind me starting drinking in a couple of seconds. But yeah, speaking English for my videos is already quite exhausting, and I'm not the best one, I suppose, or I don't think my English is. I don't speak English that well to do a regular live stream, but I can see myself doing this more or less regularly, like once a month or once a quarter. I don't know, depending on how much you like this whole live stream thing. And of course, I need to think of things we can talk about, because again, English is quite difficult for me, and finding topics to speak of in English for me is even more difficult. Yeah, but again, let's go through your questions. Julie, being on front of the screen all weekend, I wanted to be away from Kyiv this evening, but that's an offer I can't refuse. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for your words. That's really nice. Sleep is overrated. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not the youngest, and I try to sleep as much as I need to, but well, maybe it's the age. But now it's even, I can't sleep that much. 7 or 8 hours, and I'm done. When I try to sleep more and then get up, I'm destroyed. Yeah, cool. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. By order of the Peaky Blinders, Buki. Yeah, nice one. Let's see, servus. Rose is very excited. I'm excited too, trust me. I was excited for all the 7 Twitch streams I did so far, and doing this in English with you, with all of you who know me it's even more exciting. So yeah, well, let's see how well I will handle this. Yeah, just made some advertisement. Thank you, Julie. Fair enough. There is the Kingdom University with loads of courses going on right now. Oh, but my hack can't save any more information. Well, I didn't know that there is some other event I'm like concurring right now with, but hopefully we get at least some viewers. And of course, this live stream will be available after after tonight on my YouTube channel. So in case you want to rewatch this, I don't know, 90 minutes or 120 minutes, I don't know yet, which I won't probably, because I think it's really hard to watch myself speaking on camera, especially on live stream, struggling with finding words and something like this in English. Yeah. Is the stream quality any bad? I'm getting vibes like this from the. I can't read that much. Sorry guys. Love from India, yeah, Vladimir. Love from Germany. Okay. What questions do you want us to ask? Anything, basically. You don't need to ask questions for 90 minutes. First before I get into the matter too much, let me get me something to relax and something I can cheer to you with. So cheers. Thank you for a wonderful year. Thanks for all the support, for your interest right now. I'm really blown away. This is it's so cool. When you think about it, it's so cool. I'm just some guy from Germany, and all of you are watching me right now. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, before I get into the questions, I see in the on the channel on the chat. Yeah, I really intend to watch my very first proper video I published on YouTube, which is not the trailer, but the Sprezzatura British style philosophy thing. So, like reacting to it and talking a bit about my setup back then, my setup right now, because we moved. And after that, I'd like to answer more of your questions, and maybe we will get into some topic we can talk about for a while. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me see if I had any questions so far. Stadt der Liebe, Köln. Well, I don't think so. Are you talking with someone else? Nice, Nicholas. Okay, so what aspects of Peaky Blinders clothing would you say is historically accurate? That's difficult to say, because it really depends on the character you're looking at. In generally, the silhouettes, the cuts of the suits, for example, of Tommy, are quite good, quite accurate, but not for the decade or for the period the actual Peaky Blinders gang was present in Birmingham, but more like the 20s and 30s. The Baker Boy caps are of course quite accurate, even somehow timeless, you can say, because they were worn back then in the 30s, and even now a lot of people do wear Baker Boy caps. Yeah, that's it for now. Let me see. Thank you so much for posting the video converting modern shirts into having detachable collars. I'm literally going to make my tailor watch that video and do that for most of my formal shirts. My pleasure. It's really not that difficult, so what should we wear for this evening? event do you? What do I suggest? Well, it really depends, you know, because this is how do I say? It's like this is a quite modern setup, you know, live streaming and so on. So what you're wearing in front of your, I don't know, computer or TV is really up to you. I think generally clothing, your style is absolutely up to you. You might have gotten an idea what my personal style is, and this is what I like to wear. But I think it's I'm very happy living in a progressive society where everybody can just wear whatever she or he wants. So I don't think that I should, you know, suggest something for you to wear. If you're wearing a suit, fine. If you're wearing pajamas, that's also fine. In case, nevertheless, just cheers. Prost. Auf euer Wohl. How long are you going to stream? I guess I will be streaming like, again, 90 minutes. If we run out of things to talk about, I will stop earlier. If we have more to say, more to discuss, maybe I will do 120 minutes. But I guess after 2 hours, I might be very, very exhausted speaking a foreign language, and just not just speaking it, but, you know, like trying to entertain you in a foreign language. Okay, are you a user of fountain pens? No, I'm not, actually. I do have one or two, but I really, really rarely use them. Most of the times I do have like some better ball pens you'd say in English, right? Kugelschreiber. Yeah. For example, I have a Parker one my university gifted me for yeah, that's the problem. I was gifted one by my university for graduating. I really like this one, not only because it's like a good ball pen, but also because of the memories connected to my university and my studies. Are you smoking like Thomas Shelby? No, I'm not. I'm a non-smoker. I do have a pipe and a couple of cigars. The cigars were gifted to me, and sometimes I use them for, you know, like as props. I really want to smoke pipe, actually, because this is also something which is connected with very nice memories from my childhood. We were living in a house with 2 flats, and above our flats there was an old couple living, and he was always like smoking pipe and this typical heavy vanilla tobacco, and so the staircase always smelled like this vanilla tobacco. And every time I smell this kind of tobacco, I'm really like, you know, like going into the past. So I would really like to do this like smoke this kind of pipe, but I tried it a couple of times, and I don't really like smoke in my mouth and in my lungs, so haven't succeeded so far. The background is a little bit fuzzy, but that is not much of a problem. Well, the background should be fuzzy because you know, I'm using the same camera I'm always using for making my photos for Instagram or making my videos for YouTube. This is the same camera now plugged into my PC for the live stream. And what did I want to say? Yeah, so I'm using, in case anyone is interested in the specifications, the technical specifications, I'm using a f2.8 size lens on a Sony Alpha 7 Mark III, and I guess I'm on the f2.8 or 3.2 maybe, and the background is just far away because, you know, like it's the depth of field, you say, I think. Yeah, so it's supposed to be fuzzy. And I don't know if how good the live stream or the internet connection is right now, so maybe the compression of YouTube or my OBS studio is so much so it's particularly fuzzy. Okay, cool. Are you interested in other vintage related stuff? I'm also, maybe you can see, or get the idea, I'm also very interested in vintage interior. I can do one thing. I have a second camera. Just give me a second. So this is the second camera, and what I can do now is you can now see my setup. So this is basically my PC monitor. I put a picture frame around the monitor. I will cover that. Ah, you can see the small one. Ah, now I see. This is something we do not need. That's odd. Okay, so... Okay, let's do that in studio mode. Hopefully you're entertained enough by the great music. Now I get it. Or not. I don't know. Yeah, well, doesn't matter. So let's do it like this. So that's the second camera, and I can show you now a little bit more of my room. So the table here is new, and as I said, we moved. So this I didn't have it in the old flat. So yeah, and the problem is it's damaged at some point. So something a project for the future to you know, like repair the top of the table. It's like a 20s or maybe older one from oak wood. Yeah, then in the background you can see like 50s Chippendale style reproduction chairs, or however you call them. The small cupboard moved from the old flat, and then the big one behind Rupert. You might already know that from a lot of my videos and some of my photos from Instagram. Yeah, and yeah, the paravent, maybe, you know, I use as a background on a regular basis. And yeah, I will do a room tour video sometime in the future. So if you're interested in my interior and in my room, then please be patient with me. Okay, so the background music is, James, a playlist consisting of Adrian Berenguer, which is an artist I discovered on Artlist, which is a subscription service like Spotify, where I can get music that I'm allowed to put in my videos and my live streams, and I use his music a lot. Like my trailer, my intro has his music. Yeah, well, a lot of my videos use his music. So let me try to hurry up with answering questions. I don't know where I was. Yeah, okay. Let's continue somewhere. So when are we getting a video about hats? Wow, yeah, well, at some point maybe, maybe or maybe later. Sorry, I can't really tell. It's definitely on my to-do list, but you know, like I'm working full time. I can't really do more than one video per week, or now even per 2 weeks, because reality is just like this. And yeah, I will definitely do, before doing something about hats, I will do a room tour, definitely. I intend to do a dark academia lookbook, in case you can, you know, like get something out of this this term. I really want to do, let's look at my to-do list. I really do have a list. Sorry, I do really have a list for YouTube ideas. Yeah, I did already do the video about sustainability. I hope you watched this. This is really a matter close to my heart. I do want to do a video about waistcoats in the near future. Something about tribalism and style, because these topics are very, very connected. Yeah, and these are maybe the ideas I will realize or produce in the near future. Okay, cool. What are your 3 favorite suits, and which 3 colors should be included in a gentleman's wardrobe? Concerning the colors, this is really a matter of taste. And for myself, I really like brown suits, which is a difficult color for suits. Well, at least when you think about all those style rules or things you need to consider when wearing a suit to work or something like this. But for myself, I really love brown suits. I really like to wear brown, and so a lot of my suits do include some brown. Yeah, and when I have to pick out my 3 favorite suits, I would definitely say this one, which is black with chalk stripes, a flannel made by Sebastian Hofs. I would definitely pick the other one made by Sebastian, which you saw in the intro, hopefully, which is some gray. Yeah, it's dark gray with like golden brown stripes and so on. And third maybe my I do have a 3-piece flannel suit from Suit Supply, actually, but it's been around quite a while, and it's comfortable. I like how it looks on me. Yeah, which is also like a dark brown. Yeah, that's basically it. Trägst du auch solche Klamotten in der Öffentlichkeit? Are you wearing this kind of clothing in public? Yes, I do. Well, maybe not like those high stiff collars, but generally, definitely yes. I do work in IT. Well, I do work in IT, and I'm working from home now since March or April, I think, because of Corona. So I'm not wearing that much suits this year. But when I go to work, I usually do wear a suit, and I do wear my suits. Again, maybe not the high collars, but everything else basically is allowed, and maybe no +4s, because this is also something I don't consider appropriate for the workplace. But this suit, for example, or basically any suit I own, maybe not the Inverse cape, but yeah, I definitely do wear this clothing to work, and thus in public, and of course when I'm going out or something, I'm even more free in the choice of clothing, I'd say. Are there any items of clothing that you would like to use in public but it would be perceived as too much of a costume? Yeah, top hat or monocle. I do not need a monocle, so I do not own a monocle and don't feel the need to wear one. But top hat definitely. Bowler, I do wear my bowlers sometimes, but really rarely, because as you say, it's perceived as too much of a costume. I would really love to wear my frock coat. I thrifted a frock coat a couple of weeks ago, which is I think 1910s, 1920s a frock coat from France. I really love this one and frock coats in general, but yeah, it's too much definitely for the public right now, as well as a tailcoat or a morning suit. Things I would wear when they in case they would be more, like not perceived as over the top as they are. Yeah. What is drape cut? Well, that's a nice topic for a whole video, I guess. Sorry, that's nothing, not a very good answer, to be honest. Well, I gotta go now, but I hope I can return later. Thanks for stopping in, Rüdiger. Oh, yeah, the Liebesschlösser in Cologne. Good evening, sir. Lovely to see you reach this milestone. Quick question too. I've noticed the English version of your sewing book is digital only right now. Do you plan on releasing a physical one? No, I answered this question a couple of times, and I guess maybe I should, if I haven't already, include this in the description of the ebook. We do not plan on making this English version a hard copy. Because two things. First, to offer an acceptable price, we need to print at least 500 of those books. For the German hard copy, for example, we printed 1,000 copies, and right now we do have I don't know 250 left. Just so you know. So. Yeah, and for the English version, we should have, or we must at least print 500 copies, and I do not see us selling 500 copies of this book, because we already started some pre-ordering phase and we didn't receive as much pre-orders as we hoped, so we decided to release it just as a digital copy. And the second thing is, TH is quite difficult for me. The second thing is, shipping worldwide like a book is a pain in the what. Because, for example, we did have some people interested in the German hard copy from the US, and shipping to the US is as expensive as the book itself. So I can really understand that nobody wants to pay like 100 euros to get this book. So we do not plan on releasing the English version as a hard copy. Okay. Julie is cheering with a mild wine mug with kissing Heinzelmännchen on it from the Old Town Market Cologne. Oh, that sounds nice. To be honest, I'm not the type for the Old Town Market in Cologne, or the Weihnachtsmarkt, the Christmas market in Cologne. But nevertheless, thanks for being here, and cheers to you. I can turn down the music. Valle just said a moment ago it's okay, but let me put it down a few percent points. Okay, what's your opinion on traditional German clothing, especially Bavarian Trachten? Yeah, the region where I am from, which is the Niederrhein area, there is not much left of Trachten. So the only thing that is remotely connected to Trachten is the things people wear im Schützenverein. But this is not really Trachten as you know it maybe. So I'm not a Trachten guy. I don't know a lot about Trachten, especially about the Bavarian stuff like Lederhosen, Dirndl, and so on. So it's just not my topic. Just from a point watching, I think it's a great cultural thing. I like to look at it. I would really like to own a Trachten Janker, like from linen, at some point, because I like the style, the cut, and so on. But I would combine it with the usual stuff I own. But that's basically it. Okay, topic suggestion. When does dressing up vintage turn into wearing a costume? Yeah, that's a good question. I really suggest you watching my video on confidence, because it really depends on how you wear your stuff. Because from the outside, basically anything can look like a costume, maybe apart from all the mainstream or from the most mainstream stuff, but basically anything from another one's viewpoint can look like a costume as soon as you do not wear it with a certain confidence. That's what I would say to that. So, and before I continue with the questions, it's so Valle wrote something. Nothing. Okay. Where was I? Oh man. There I was, somewhere in the middle. So, before I continue, let's look at my very first YouTube video. Ready? And, well, in between I will say something. Or, well, wait a minute. Let me again try to put myself in there. This. Yeah. I don't know how I managed to destroy. This is the reason. This is the reason. How I managed to destroy my beautiful scenes in OBS, but hopefully we can continue with it how I intended it to look. Okay. So, first I should stop the music. And now, for something completely different, let me pop out the video chat so I can look at what you're writing. How do you like my Batman transition between scenes, by the way? I'm very proud of this construction. Well, yeah, you should now see myself, my old video, and yeah, well, let's just have a look at my very first proper video in English on my YouTube channel. I did pretty exactly 1 year ago. I published it 1 year ago. And before I press play again, let me talk a bit about the setup. So this was in our old flat, my old working room. In the background you can see the high cupboard which is now standing next to me on the right, and the Paravent, which is also standing next to me on the right behind Rupert. So things I really hold dear, which still look great. However, I'm really happy that now I do have a dark green wall in my room, because this, concerning video backgrounds, is so much cooler than this like this white wall I needed to like cover with the Paravent and the high cupboard. Yeah, so let me scroll down. Yeah, and second thing, the image is not the best, a bit blurry, because back then I was shooting with my Sony Alpha 7 Mark I, which is just an older model from the camera I'm using right now. However, as you might see, the problem is not the camera, the problem is not the lens. Well, maybe a bit the lens, because the lens I used on this on the Sony back then was not so good at autofocusing. But the most important thing is lighting, and I did use some light apparently, but a year ago, just like right now, it's November. There's no light outside. Not after end of the workday. Okay, now today is Sunday, so I could have produced the video on the Saturday or Sunday when it's bright outside. But in this case, I think I did shoot it after a workday sometime during the week. So the lighting is not the best, and the resolution and compression of the video is also not very good. The funny thing is, I'm wearing the same suit like right now, even the same pocket square fold. Yeah, cool. Let's hear what my past self is saying.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first international episode of Vintagebursche.
Oh, very cheesy start.
For my first international episode, I picked a topic most of you might know already, which is the British style philosophy versus the Italian style philosophy.
High tech, blending in flags.
But instead of talking about like tailoring details,
I guess back then I was talking even slower than I'm talking right now, or in the videos that came after this.
Stretched shoulders, relaxed shoulders, and so on. I want to talk about the concept, the style concepts behind those details. So bear with me, but first, dramatic intro.
Something I'm still doing, announcing the dramatic intro, and the principle of the video, like talking about concepts and ideas, is also something I would say I still do. I rather prefer than like talking about construction details, except when I'm sewing. Yeah, and this intro you might all know very well. A good friend of mine, Fabio, did with me in Aachen, near or in the grotesque absinthe bar. Yeah. Cheers. Past Nicholas.
Yep, that's whiskey in here. Well, I want you to understand the concept behind British style and Italian style. Why? Because I studied computer science,
but the image quality is
in a lot of exams you were allowed to bring a formula sheet with you. And did it make the exam easier? Basically no, because the formulas, like the details of tailoring or simple facts, are not that important, especially in a time when you can always take your smartphone, your mobile, and look it up on Google. So the more difficult thing is understanding why the world evolves like it does. This is a quite technical point of view and maybe very German, but
I do not endorse excessive drinking. Thanks, Valle, for mentioning this, but I do endorse technical viewpoints.
I am German, so duh. So let's start with the British style. For the British school of thought, the function and occasion when you're wearing some outfit is very closely linked to the outfit itself. So, for example,
no jump cuts.
When you're in the countryside, you're basically like wearing tweeds,
the topic
especially
and how
like
I talk
jackets
about the topic,
that are cut for living in the countryside, like Norfolk jackets. You have action bags, you can move around.
I just talked my way through.
Tweed itself is basically the old school outdoor fabric because
the
it
moments
keeps you warm.
where I like
it's durable
something
with the right patterns and colors. It basically works like camouflage.
And put in
the school of thought is
afterwards.
Quite practical, even though British style is sometimes conceived as stiff or very rule-based. But in fact, it's quite practical because the British are very good at adapting new elements to
I guess it's
their style.
Is it?
Look at, for example, the cummerbund, which is basically an element from India. In warmer climates.
The cool thing now is when I started YouTube 1 year ago, I already had a big stash of good photos of a lot of my clothing, which I could, put in my videos, which is so useful. And by the way, Valesarius already mentioned this at the beginning of the live stream. I'm now doing Twitch, like just for 10 days now. But I'm doing Twitch in German, something you should know too. So please don't be upset if you realize that I'm not speaking English in my on my Twitch live streams. But it's so much easier for me to speak my mother tongue when doing a regular live stream. Anyhow, and now since I started Twitch, I realized that it's so useful that I was doing YouTube for a whole year and produced so much videos that I can now use for for the starting stream, starting sequence you just saw at the beginning of the live stream. I can use in between when I go to the toilet or something like this, or the knowledge I collected to produce little clips and something like this. It's so useful. So thanks for being the motivation behind being on YouTube for a whole year. So thanks, cheers again, and let's resume to the video.
It's much more useful to wear a cummerbund because it's not that isolating, rather than wearing a waistcoat. So basically the British school of thought is again very practical, and the outfit is very closely linked to the occasion and the function. It's
okay. I will pause before I talk.
It's serving. Another thing is it's sometimes quite okay that you can see that your garments are heavily used, because it's just a sign that you're using your clothes for the purpose they are designed for. Okay, that's basically the British school of thought, so let's move on to the Italian style. To understand the Italian approach on style, we have to move back to the 16th century. In 1528, Baldassare Castiglionis printed a book called, I guess, the Book of Court, where he explains how you have to behave when you're living at court. And in this book, he uses the word sprezzatura, which is, explaining basically the Italian style. The Italian style and sprezzatura mean two things. First, the main focus is not exactly the occasion or the function, but rather the aesthetic in general. And the second, most important, is that it has to look effortless. Wait, what? Effortlessly?
My great acting skills on point. Wait, effortlessly elegant? Yeah, that's me 1 year ago.
Elegant? How do you do that? Well, let's have a look at...
I didn't even bother to put on a different outfit and, you know, cut to a different scene or something to ask this. Effortlessly elegant? How do you do that?
One of the most popular Italian style icons, Gianni Agnelli, who was the CEO of Fiat for, I guess, 30 years. And as you can see here, he just incorporates little neglects into his outfits to convey this idea of effortlessness. Because it looks a bit sloppy. It looks like he hasn't put much.
Unbuttoning or button-down shirts, by the way, are do not have a good stance in Germany. You know, it's really, really bad. If you're going to Germany and want to like please everyone, just do not wear a button-down shirt, especially not with a tie, with a necktie. And this is something I do. I do talks on classic menswear in Germany on a regular basis, and this is something a lot of people, you know, like are really upset about. That someone who is considered a style icon, an international style icon, first wears button-down shirts and second doesn't even button the collar. It's very funny, but I guess it's like we Germans are very narrow-minded in this case.
Thought into it, but he did. And this is basically the idea of effortlessly elegant. Two more modern approaches to this are, for example, tying your tie so the narrow end is longer than the thick one, or wearing a jacket and leaving the cuffs of the shirt underneath open. You can see that a lot in Florence at PTU.
In turn, the production quality of the Gentleman's Gazette and also I think the content is so much better than mine, so much better researched and so on.
So this is basically the difference between the concept of Italian style and the British style. And from that concept you can basically derive why British tailoring is a bit more structured, while Italian tailoring is a bit more relaxed. I hope you liked my video. See you soon.
That's it? Yes, I don't know what I'm talking about 1.5 minutes after that.
Okay, we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Thanks again for watching. This was my very first international episode on this channel. So sorry for my accent, sorry for being very insecure with speaking English, because I'm not a native speaker. Please don't be too hard on me. I'm just starting with YouTube, so it would be great if you just subscribe to my channel. What can you expect from this channel? Well, I'm planning on doing sewing tutorials. I will basically start with very little things like hand rolling fabrics, so you can, you know, like sew your own pocket square. I intend to show you how you make your lapel ready for a boutonniere, like a lapel flower.
Lapel, a misspelling I continued through a couple of videos.
And at some point we will do like sewing a flat cap or a back.
And by the way, this is also something I'm doing on Twitch occasionally, in case you do understand German. I mean live streams where I do sew something. For example, last week's Saturday, I hand rolled an old pocket square I got at H&M. Which was like a cotton linen blend, I think, and I really like this. Really like the pocket. Or I really did. I do still like the pocket square, but the edges were like just sewed down flat, and I wanted to continue to use it And so I decided to now like open the seams at the edge and hand roll it myself. We did that on last Saturday, which was great. I did Viking knit because some of you might know that I do LARP, but like the European version, which is which has at least now a very high production value. I think most of the people I know that LARP could easily portray a character in a movie, and I do LARP mostly on a historical basis. So I do have I did resew the Skjoldehan find from Norway, for example, which is a Sami Viking thing, and I do also have a 1337 around this time Central European Knights armor and clothing in the basement. And so what we did last Saturday was, for example, Viking knit. This is something I do for fun sometimes. Let's continue. But I think I do not have a lot to say now in the video.
A boy cap, a waistcoat, and so on. I guess I will start a series about what we can learn from the different decades of classic menswear. Or at some point in the future, I will stop saying all the time. If you have any question,
I tried to stop saying all the time. Yeah, I don't know if I succeeded, but I think it gotten a little bit better at least. I do not know if you would agree. But yeah, so it's the one monitor. Let me okay, so yeah, my first video on YouTube. Not that bad. Yeah, I would say I improved quite a bit, especially my English. But of course, I also, I guess in future videos I will try to use a teleprompter more often, because of course I need to pre-write a script for the whole video, but that's like a lot better for me to have all the sentences put down and just reading it. Yeah, drinking game, but yeah. That by the way is my girlfriend. Hallo Schatz. You couldn't resist, couldn't you? Yeah. And I feel you. It's really difficult, because especially when you're trying to entertain an audience and try to fill the silences between pauses when you think, you're prone to say or bend words and so on. So yeah, that's it's really hard to avoid. Okay, so let's try to get back to your questions. I don't know anymore where I stopped, so I will continue somewhere. Here we had the background music question. What do you think about season 3 of Babylon Berlin? Oh, that's a good question. So I think I really like the production value of Babylon Berlin. The clothing, the setting, I really like it. The story was okay. For me, it's really difficult to watch German movies or German TV shows, because in my humble opinion, the dialogues between the characters it always feels so artificial. I don't know if it's the case because I am German and you can hear more and so on. With English it's a different kind of ball game, but or if German screenwriters are just not that creative compared to British ones or American screenwriters. So yeah, it's still a must-see for me, Season 3 of Babylon Berlin. What inspired you to dress in classic menswear? Oh, that's a longer story. I try to keep it short. So basically, I started LARPing when I was 15, and I started in the time when the first Lord of the Rings movies came out. So I really wanted to look like Legolas. So that's the starting point. I got into LARP and developed an interest for historical clothing. Got this knights thing, like 1337. I learned how to research this historical stuff. Then I got into a student fraternity in Germany, which are quite traditional. You're supposed to wear a suit to all the official occasions. So I had to wear a suit. And at some point I said to myself, okay, if I have to do this, I should do it right. And since our fraternity was founded in 1876 and the house was built in the 1920s, we do have a lot of old photos from this time around the house. So I got to look at a lot of pretty photos of guys wearing beautiful suits. And so I researched the last 120 years of classic menswear and found out for myself that I really like to look at 1910s clothing or early 1920s clothing, but also that it fits my physique quite well. So this is how I got into this whole classic menswear, vintage, 1910s, Edwardian kind of thing. Okay, next one. Do you also consider uniforms of the period? Yeah, well, I do like to look at old uniforms, and they do have a great impact on classic menswear. But I do not wear uniforms in my spare time or for fun, because I think uniforms are very difficult. Very, very difficult topic, especially in Germany. I also did a video on German style, which is closely connected to uniforms or military style. If you're interested, watch that. Other than the one you co-wrote, do you have any recommendations for source materials on patterns of vintage looks? But maybe that should be a longer video. Yeah. The thing is, Sebastian and I wrote this vintage menswear book because we couldn't find anything like this on the market. Of course, you do have your, Brunswick, Boda patterns, which you can, of course, always buy and sew, but not like a proper sewing book explaining how to do certain things in classic menswear. And compared to ladies wear, classic menswear is, I think, a lot about the details and the small things in constructing. And so this was basically the reason to write this whole book, because there is nothing like this on the market. Nothing that is not at least, 60 years old and 500 euros of money that you have to spend. Okay, can you do a part 3 of criticizing our picks with vintage clothes? Yes, I will definitely do that. I'm planning on doing this as soon as I reach 20,000 followers on YouTube. I'm already doing this on the Twitch, on the other platform, on a regular basis, or more or less. I did it once now, but again, just in German. So if you're German and like to want your picks to be looked at, just join me on Twitch. That would be possible. Who made the suit with Spitzfaçon? Nikolai, you have to be a bit more precise when you're asking something like this. Which suit with Spitzfaçon? I do have several. Do the high collars irritate your neck? Depends on how well I have shaven before. So I do, to be honest, I do prefer electrical shaving. So it's not that clean most of the times. I'm using the the proper razor just occasionally, but as soon as with the electrical one, as soon as I did it like on the day or day before, it's fine. It doesn't irritate my neck. Well, we had the season 3 question. Do you dry clean your clothes? Yes, I do. Well, at least the suits, but this is really, I do that really rarely, to be honest. I do own suits that have never seen the dry cleanings. Usually I just, brush them out, put them on the balcony to get some air, and if they do not have stains, they don't go into the dry cleaning. But sometimes, when they need to, they do. And I do give my shirts into dry cleaning because, of course, I could wash them myself and press them, but it is so time consuming, so I just give them to a dry cleaning. What's your opinion to double-breasted suits and which combination is the best, 2 to 4 or 2 to 6? I love double-breasted suits, however, I'm even wearing one right now. As you can see, and this is also my favorite button stands. But this is also a 1920s cut, so very slim, very high, what do you say? Nipped in waist, high button stands. So yeah, that's my favorite kind. Yeah, I hope I can show you the frock coat very soon. I wish all streamers, no matter their theme, would just wear classic suits like this. I would definitely endorse that. Which one is your favorite fabric? I will not say tweed. I do like tweed a lot, but I prefer flannel, like this one. Because of two things. First, you still have a similar structure to tweed, but it's a bit more refined, so you can also use flannels for evening wear. So and blacks, for example, do appear darker, and they do have a subtle shine. I really like flannel. While I try to answer this for me, tweet. Not quite. Good afternoon. Congratulations for the year on YouTube. I have followed you from the beginning. Greetings from Malaga, Spain. Oh, Christian, thank you for stopping by and thanks for your interest, for your support. When can buy vintage clothing in Latin America? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I never was in Latin America, so sorry. Do you like black Balmoral boots? Is it just me, or does Balmoral boots take a long time to put on and lace? Yeah, they do, definitely. I only have a pair of mid-brown Balmoral boots, but I would really love to own a black pair, to be honest. Yeah, great. Balmoral boots in general are really a great choice for footwear, for boots. Yeah, well, and just need to cope with the lacing, or you can go for button boots, which are in turn a bit more difficult to find, to be honest. Does your wife dress vintage? Do you go to events or dances? No, she doesn't. She has some items, some vintage items, but in general she does not dress even remotely like me. And she does own these few items, so we can go to events or dances sometimes, but not very often. At least not in the past year. You know why. No, I do not smoke cigars. As I said, I do own a few cigars. No, it's itching. No, I do not smoke anything. I do own a few cigars which were gifted to me, and I now use them as props in my videos and so on. I also do own pipes which I also use as props, and I would like to smoke a pipe because I like the vanilla smell, but I just can't cope with smoke in my lungs or even in my mouth. What is a film or TV series whose costuming goes above and beyond when it comes to historical accuracy? Also, do you find it hard to enjoy shows or movies that are not very accurate? I think I can ignore the inaccuracies of certain shows or movies. I do get upset when it's at certain points, difficult to explain. Anyhow, there is one show I can really recommend concerning accuracy, but generally for the storyline, because it's a historical storyline, and this is Boardwalk Empire. So, in case you haven't watched Boardwalk Empire, go watch it, because it's a really great show and shows a lot more variety in clothing than, for example, Peaky Blinders, which is of course set in Birmingham, with a very specific types of I'd say subcultures that are depicted in the show. Do you wear suspenders regularly? Any recommendations where to get some nice ones? I do wear suspenders almost exclusively. I do still own some belts, but with all my proper trousers, I exclusively wear suspenders or braces, and I can really recommend the ones from Albert Thurston. You can find those on eBay, of course, and there are a couple of shops, at least in Germany, that also resell Albert Thurston suspenders. There should be a link in the video description, so generally if you're interested in the things I wear, there's a link to a list of shops and brands I can recommend. It's in the video description, so if you're interested, just browse through this list. There should be a lot of shops who also have suspenders, especially the ones from Albert Thurston. Okay, what item of your clothing do people find most interesting? Your collar, your waistcoat? Well, most of the time, the first thing people see and comment on is my hats. Because, for example, let me put on one. I do have, of course, a lot of Baker Boy hats and flat caps, Baker Boy caps and flat caps, and since Peaky Blinders, basically everyone's wearing Baker Boy caps or flat caps, so it's not that unusual anymore to see people on the street wearing Baker Boy or flat caps, but seeing someone with a bowler is still so uncommon that I'm always stared at or commented on. So yeah, if there is something people need to comment on, it's definitely my hats. So you look amazing from Amsterdam. Thank you, Jace. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for your kind words. What do you think of kilts, as they are timeless? I love kilts. I can recommend my video on my personal transformation from like a metalhead to classic menswear, because at my how do you say, like my the ball at the end of my school time, I did wear a kilt, because in the summer before that I spent 2 weeks in Scotland and really fell in love with with the people, and we even attended a weekend of Highland games and so on. So love it. Love it. Have you tried Tailor Store? I recently got a custom shirt from with their Spearpoint collar, and I'm quite happy with it. Also went for the 1920s contrasting collar. I do have, I guess still, no, I do have 2 Tailor Store shirts still. How you call it? Yeah, I still have 2 shirts. Sorry. I still have 2 shirts from Tailor Store, but to be honest, I have 2 shirts in my wardrobe that ripped open at the elbow, and these are the Tailor Store shirts. So because they were a little too slim at the arms, yeah, bummer. I put something, I closed the hole, put a patch on the elbow, so it's fine. But yeah, I don't think I would ever buy a Tailor Store again, because there are a lot of other stores similar to Tailor Store that are meeting my taste a bit better. Can you say that? Okay. I just found you a few days ago. The algorithm worked, and have been binge watching. I think the quality of the content production has always been high and only gotten more impressive. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Well, we just watched my first video, and it's definitely better than I remember. However, yeah, well, of course, especially when it's yourself, you always see room for improvement. Okay, now I'm almost at the bottom. Finally. Vikings Hoost. You mean the historical inaccuracies? Yeah, Vikings is a show that's where I'm really torn, because I really like the storyline, the aesthetic, but the clothing and the armor and weapons and so on is so bad. And for Barbarians, I don't know if you as non-Germans can watch Barbarians on Netflix, which is a German show, and with Barbarians it's almost the other end, because the weapons, the clothing is so good. They even got the old German hairstyles with a knot on the side and so on. It's so good, but again, the storyline is pathetic, really pathetic. Can you make some videos about winter vintage fashion? That's a really good idea. I will put that on my list to right away. Vintage fashion for winter. Thank you for the suggestion. Downton Abbey is pretty accurate, if I remember correctly. I guess so. Or also a great show. But again, Boardwalk Empire, the cool thing about Boardwalk Empire is the variety of styles you can see in the show. I like how you stroke your beard, very authentic, as I recall from my great grandfather. Yeah, it's really funny, because it's like the things you're prone to do when you have a beard, like a mustache and so on. So yeah, but if you think it's cool, then I can continue. Yes, hats. Yes, hats. Where was I? Then people start to talk to. Yeah, I heard costumers saying that. Niklas always got compliments for his looks on the streets. Not always, but most of the times. I went to Berlin one time, for example, and wore a suit like the one of the fancy ones, beige brown houndstooth, and like 10 people cheered at me because of for my looks, and one was like, go out of here. Like just his looks, because I think Berlin is a difficult case. You don't you should not like show people that you do that you're dressing conservative or have a lot of money. I don't think that wearing a suit should lead to the impression that you do have a lot of money, but that's a different thing. Yeah, well, but people think that, and depending on the city or the people, this might be a bad impression. I enjoyed Vikings until a certain death. Well, I don't even know when I stopped watching Vikings. I just lost interest at some point. Now I'm at the bottom. I reached the bottom of the chat. Oh. Happy anniversary! Thank you. What's your favorite brand of suits? Well, my favorite brand is of course Sebastian Hofs, which is a good friend of mine and a bespoke tailor from Cologne. If I had to choose one, I do really like, but I can't really judge. I do like from the pictures Thomas Farthing, but I do not own a Thomas Farthing suit, so I don't know if the quality holds up to my expectations. Similar thing with Simon James Cathcart. I do own a waistcoat from them, and I had one jacket, and the quality is cool, but it's not like it doesn't meet my style expectations like Thomas Farthing does. Yeah. But these are two brands that are included in my list, for example, and brands I can absolutely endorse. Let me stop right here. Like your mustache. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do like my mustache too. Do you use styling products in your mustache or beard? Yes, I do. I use simple beard oil after showering, because my skin tends to be quite dry, especially the skin at my, where I have hair, like here and here. And for the mustache, I do use usually after showering a little bit of wax to get it a bit in shape. And for example, on special occasions, I use the German term is Bartwichse, which is basically something like beard wax, but it's not wax. I don't know what's in this kind of stuff, but it's great. Even if your mustache is quite short, you can do anything with it. Okay. Do you think in English when making videos? Thank you for embracing European vintage fashion. Thank you, Martin. Well, there are a couple of videos that I just did right away. I thought of a topic and just recorded. Where the problem is, because English is not my native language, editing these videos is a nightmare. Because I'm misspelling a lot. I get lost in my train of thought, for example. And so this is not how I usually do my videos. Usually I do write a script beforehand, writing every sentence down and reading it or learning it by heart. So, in this case, I do not think English when I do the videos, but more like, I think English when I'm writing the scripts. Let's leave it at that. Okay, how many pairs of spats do you own? Just two pairs, to be honest. Boardwalk Empire characters and story is great too. Yeah, as I said, Boardwalk Empire is maybe in terms of clothing the best 1920s TV show there is. What tie material would be most common for a middle-class Edwardian man, and what pattern? I think I would always go for silk. I think, but maybe antique menswear, another YouTube channel, Aaron. I can really recommend. Has a bit more knowledge about the typical material which would be used. I think silk would be the go-to material, and would suppose that wool and linen are more modern fabrics to use for a necktie. And yeah, which pattern? I would say I would say you can use the usual patterns you can get, or the usual shapes you can use, you can get today, maybe a bit wider, maybe. Your lighting and setup is super nice. Thank you, Luca. I'm also really proud of my lighting setup, video setup in general. No, I haven't seen your former comment. I acquired a Corneliani suit. What is your opinion of Corneliani? To be honest, I haven't heard of this brand before. I would need to research a bit to say something of value. Sorry. Yes, what kind of lighting you use? Well, I'm using 2 LED panels, one more or less in the front, one in the back as hair lighting, so I'm I'm popping out of the background a bit. Then I do have this candle here. It's an LED candle for a bit, background lighting. And then there on the floor is another lamp, just a lamp for a bit of background lighting. Yeah, and that's basically it. That's my setup. Well, here on the table I also have like those banker desk lamps, but it doesn't really do anything except lighting the table for me. I can show you when I make it, when I put it out, turn it off. Oh, okay. It does a bit. Okay, so there's another lamp. Got any brand recommendations for someone with EU size 54? That's not an unusual size, I would say. So depends on what you're looking for. You could go to John Crockett, for example, a great store in Cologne, who have a lot of British style stuff, especially tweed. You can go to Suit Supply, Simon James Cathcart, Thomas Farthing. I guess everyone should have 54. You just need to realize that the UK size is basically -10. So at the Thomas Farthing store, you should look for 44. What's your favorite classical shoe brand? I think I would go. I would definitely go for Allen Edmonds. I discovered Allen Edmonds, I don't know, 10 years ago when I completed my studies and bought my first pair of Goodyear welted shoes. And I found them on eBay because a new pair of good welted shoes I couldn't afford. So I looked for used ones, and I found a pair. I tried different pairs. I tried Church's. I tried Loke. And I still do have Lokes. There were 2 more. I tried Crockett & Jones and some other brand, and the pair from Allen Edmonds was by far the most comfortable for my feet. So I got stuck at Allen Edmonds, and now I do have I don't know 4 pairs or 5 pairs of Allen Edmonds shoes. I really love the brand. I like the shape of the last. I like the styles. I do have 2 pairs of straw foots alone. Allen Edmonds straw foot. Let me show you. This is the Allen Edmonds straw foot, a dark brown cream linen spectator shoe, my absolute favorite. And I do have another straw foot, which is tone in tone, brown mesh and brown leather. It's the perfect summer shoe. I really love it. Yeah, Allen Edmonds all the way. Warst du schon mal auf einer Bohème Sauvage und wie war die Stimmung da? Yes, did you attend Bohème Sauvage? I did several times here in Cologne. It really depends. Sometimes there are a lot of people dressed more like 1920s carnival, if you know what I mean, like carnival in Germany. So not the best quality of clothing, but in general it's a great party. The people are cool. I met Sebastian, who I wrote the book with, the sewing book, at a Bohème Sauvage. So without Bohème, yeah, I don't know where I would be in my life right now. Bist du ein Verbindungsstudent oder kommt dein Name woanders her? Are you a fraternity, a frat guy, or where does your name come from? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm a Burschenschafter. That's the reason behind the Bursche, which is for the English-speaking viewers. Bursche is the German term for lad or chap, but also is the term for members of a student fraternity. So that's the reason. Links for that mustache wax. I will put a link. I will put a comment under the video afterwards, because let me see. Let's have a look. It's called Brothers Love. Look this up on Google, please. Brothers Love. Yeah. Do we need to recover the etiquette of a century ago? Well, I think we would be better off being a bit more polite nowadays, but I don't think the social standards of a century ago would be very good idea. Could you tell me what is the name of the knot you are wearing? It's a simple four-in-hand. You know, it's basically the most or the easiest tie knot you can imagine. Just, you know, put in four-in-hand in Google, and you will get a lot of nice picture or video descriptions how to tie a four-in-hand. Do you like Vintageman on Instagram? He wears many nice tweets. I do follow him on Facebook, and because I'm also very active on Facebook, so I don't also follow him on Instagram, but I know him very well. I also like his style very much. So, is spit and polish the best way to clean shoes? The spit is something you used back then to acquire a mirror shine, and I'm not the best person to speak about cleaning or shining shoes, because I don't mirror shine my shoes. If you're interested in mirror shining, yeah, there is a great YouTube channel. Valle, please help me. What's it called? Something Oxford. I don't know. A whole channel about shoes and restoration and cleaning and so on. So go to that channel. The Brick Live Studios. Yes, it will be available afterwards, so you can see it entirely. But I promise you, it's not that interesting watching me stuttering English. My man is looking sexy in the suit. Congrats. Yeah, thank you. What is Bohème Sauvage? Bohème Sauvage is a series of parties with a 1920 theme, which originates in Berlin, but they do or did the party after that in several bigger cities in Germany, like Hamburg and Munich and Cologne. And I attended the party in Cologne a couple of times. Do you want to host your own 1920 theme party in the future? I don't think so. I don't think I want to get into event management and so on. I would pose as a, like as an ambassador if someone would ask me, but I don't think I would host my own theme party. Too much work and not my cup of tea. Any Instagram that sell classic menswear? Yeah, all of them. Again, look at the list of shops and brands I put into the video description. Have you ever been in another country? Do you plan on to make kind of travel content? I think we did travel content a little bit when we got to Wales, which was great. And I would love to, and of course the video from Pitti Uomo from Florence is my second most successful video on YouTube. So I would love to do more travel content. So yeah, as soon as Corona ends, there will be more content from other countries, other cities. Paul is asking more fraternity questions. Well, I finished my studies, let me think. We now have 29 years ago, so I'm an old guy, ein alter Herr, in my fraternity now. Not active anymore, and we were Pflichtschlagen. So I did do academic fencing. Did a mensur twice, so yeah, that's it. I do also have my Mensurkling still with me, the blades I did the mensuren with. Where to find girls who doesn't mind guys who love vintage clothes? Oh, that's a good question, but I think vintage clothing is even more popular with girls than with guys. So when Instagram is not a good dating platform, and remember to always be respectful with anyone you're writing to. But I would think that it could be easy to find people that are interested into vintage on Instagram. And on top of that, I do have an own subreddit. So reddit.com. And then look for Vintagebursche, and I guess we got to the 500 member mark yesterday or the day before yesterday. So if you're interested in people that are like-minded into vintage and so on, just try to go to my Reddit, my subreddit. The Elegant Oxford, yes, thank you, Marcus. Yeah, that's the YouTube channel doing this shoe content. So this is an excellent source if you're interested into cleaning and restoration of good welted shoes. Would you mind checking out? No, I won't check out. Maybe later. How often do you watch the Gentleman's Gazette? Do you like Preston? Oh, I do like Preston. I try to keep on track with all the Gentleman's Gazette videos. Maybe not every video on brands, for example, because I have my own experience with brands, and usually they cover brands I'm not really interested into, but generally I try to watch all the GG content. Hallo Meister. Oldest piece of clothing in your collection? When you talk about proper clothing, then probably the 1910s, 1920s frock coat I mentioned a moment ago. Do you have any recommendations for wearing classic sweaters? Well, I am not an expert into knitwear, to be honest. Yeah, so I guess Thomas Farthing, for example, has a lot of great knitwear, and Simon James Cathcart too, but that's basically it. Will you ever come to Spain? I was in Spain years ago. I'd love to visit again sometime when Corona's over. I do not know any good books on 1920s menswear, to be honest. Just general style menswear stuff, so on, and of course historical books from back then. How old are you then? You took a little bit. You look a little bit ageless. Yeah, I'm probably right in the middle of the range you mentioned. I'm 34. And I have 2 kids, by the way, so... What's the beverage for today? Oh, that's a good question. Thank you, just some bloke. Thank you for the question. I'm now refilling my glass with some American rye, because... yeah, I don't think... I don't remember ever talking about this, but I do like whiskey, and I do like the American ones, bourbon and rye. And this is a rye one, very, well, a little bit spicy, you know. Yeah, but great catch. So cheers to you. Guten Abend, Fanny. Jakob, your opinion on Rubinacci. Also, do you have any Naples-inspired clothing? I think Rubinacci is a great guy, very sympathetic. No, how do you... Seems like a really cool guy, really friendly, and I like the style, how he does his short videos and so on. However, I have never bought from him anything. I haven't met him in person, and I'm not into the Naples aesthetic. It's quite modern, too relaxed for me, too colorful to be honest. I'm more into... I'm also really into this concept of dark academia, especially the color scheme of, you know, like combining earthy tones, black, white, and some dark color like navy or like a dark green or something like this. This is more my vibe. Did you fight Hochpartien oder auch Tiefpartien? Since I studied in Aachen, and Aachen is a technical university, I did just Hochpartie. Not to get personal, but do you wear vintage or vintage-inspired undergarments? No, I do not. I do have some Henley undershirts, but that's basically it. Was it ever common for a man to wear single-end cuffs with cufflinks for more casual clothes outside of white and black tie? Single-end cuffs, you mean? I think I get what you're asking. And yeah, definitely, because what we consider formal, like white or black tie today, was, you know, like standard day wear back then. So single-end cuffs with cufflinks would be the usual, because the cuffs with the buttons sewn on are sport cuffs, if you know what I mean. So everything, like for example, as soon as you wear a morning suit, you would have worn single-end cuffs with cufflinks. That's a really difficult term. Have you ever done any videos on summer wear? Yes, I have. There is a summer lookbook even. Go on my channel and watch that. He is ageless. He has a painting of himself that prevents aging or death. Oh, I wish. 34 years, yeah. Have I shocked you? Yeah, well, it's the truth, basically. You remind me of a German philosopher. I have several old university mates that have that aura as well. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. I prefer the German and Japanese brands like Elsbrunn and Hibiki. For American, I can recommend the Bourbon Frontier whiskey. Yeah, this is a rye I bought quite recently. I'm just trying out. It's cool. Not my new favorite, but it's a good whiskey. I do not talk about politics, Purple, by the way. One of my favorite bourbons is this one, Blanton's. I also really like the here, the top, you know. How's that called? The cork? I don't know. I really like for you know, like return on investment, the Four Roses bourbon, which is quite cheap but still quite good. I do have several bottles standing there in my mini bar, which is right now just yeah, just a box, just a wooden box. And in case you really don't want to try the American ones, this is something I also drink very, very much, or like very much. Redbreast, an Irish one. Okay. Florian Schmitz, I don't know Florian Schmitz. I don't know who you're talking about. Do you like detachable club collars with a collar clip? Well, I do wear detachable collars with a collar clip sometimes, but usually it's not necessary to wear a collar clip with detachable collars, especially with a club collar, because you might have not enough, you know, like fabric of collar in the front to clip your collar clip onto, if you know what I mean. So maybe try it. It's not really necessary, but if it looks good, it's cool. 34 years is unusual for a content creator. Yeah, well, I did study in computer science, so I do like all this techie stuff, and yeah, I like to discover new, for example, new platforms. For example, Twitch. In case you are interested in watching me stream on a regular basis in German. Sorry to say that, but do you have any tips for people who aren't very financially stable? Yes, of course. Just buy secondhand. Thrift a lot and so on. I have a couple of videos where I show how you can basically alter things yourself and so on. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. I might remember who Florian Schmitz is, like someone even, yeah, from Cologne. No, I haven't met him. I might have watched this documentary about him, but never met him. Okay, so guys, we are almost at 110 minutes, almost 2 hours. So we just watched one video. Please be patient with me with publishing my next video. I you know, even when now looking at my old watching my old video from the start, I really want to emphasize the qualities I can bring into my content. So it might take a bit longer now to make a video, but I hope they will be even better from now on. Thank you so much for your interest and and your support. Sorry. And yeah, again, if you're interested in the things I'm wearing, there is a link to the list of shops and brands where I like to buy my clothes. So if you speak German, click on the Twitch link and follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming on Twitch on a regular basis. Tomorrow evening, for example, again. Yeah. And thanks. have a good evening, and let me show you, in case, just for the sake of it. Now I need a minute again. Damn it. Das will ich nicht. Das will ich nicht. Das. Okay. Guys, thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating in the live chat and asking questions. It was a blast. And also for the whole year on YouTube. Without you, I won't be here doing what I like, classic menswear, YouTube, all the techie stuff, because I love it. So yeah, have a good evening, have a good night, whatever time it is where you're living, and hopefully see you soon.